So I'm gonna look like an idiot this whole time because not only do I have the hat, I got the shirt too. I didn't even think about that. But I'm not going home to change, so here we are. Ice Cream Cruise is just over a week away, and if you don't know what that is, it's a weekend full of drag racing, roll racing, and a car show. Now, I'm lucky enough to have this thing in VIP this year, but I don't want to take it as is. There's some things that I need to do to this. Now, aside from the typical cleaning that I got to do with this, because I drive this thing almost every day, I got to get rid of the monster truck stance on this. Now that I got you lowered, you can really see what's going on here. I mean, I could almost crawl underneath here without a jack. This is just not going to cut it, especially for a race car like this. Now, what am I going to do about it? Well, I got some lowering blocks coming for the rear of the car. That way I don't have to mess with really anything on the backside. And then I'm going to actually lower the torsion bars in the front. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. But while I got you here, let me show you what I've already done. You're going handheld on my actual camera, so this might get a little shaky, but bear with me. So far, I've been doing a lot with the engine bay, and it might be noticeable, it might not, but I've actually cleaned up the wiring. So as you can see, I used to have 3 looms going all the way across there, but now I've condensed it into one. I took this relay, was on this side, and I put it onto the front of the radiator support. There you can see I tidied that up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's gonna do for now. And you may notice those valve covers are a little bit different, and that is because they are painted. All right, I gave up. Sorry about that, but here we are now. Now, I originally tried to put some Mopar Performance valve covers on here, and they were doing great, except right where these there we go, right where these bolts are, studs, I guess. I don't know if I tightened them too much or what happened, but they cracked and they were pouring oil out. I mean, I was running up and down the road not realizing it, and I was basically James Bond smoke screening everyone behind me. So I had to take those off, and I didn't want to just put the chrome valve covers back on because they were rough. So I decided to shoot them with some aluminum spray paint, and they're better than what they were. I'm not totally satisfied with them, but we're kind of on a crunch right now, so they'll do. And after that, I just kind of went through and cleaned up all of the paints. You can see I polished as much as I could. This side looks a little rough. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'd probably just have to reshoot that with some paint, but we'll get to that. Other than that, not too much. There is a rattle in my exhaust that I'm pretty sure my tailpipe is like hitting my shock in the rear, so gotta mess with that, get that fixed, and I'll let you hear that right here. So yeah, doesn't sound good. So get that fixed, and then we will get on to lowering the car. So we're going to be flip-flopping the car quite a bit today, and that is because that right there you go, that's the header. Well, the pipe coming from the header, and I found out that's where I'm having my exhaust leak coming from. So while everything's cold, I'm just rolling the car out. I'm going to pop that up and really tighten down those clamps. I know I should probably just weld them, but for the time being, they're going to be clamped still. So while everything's cold, I'm going to get that done right away. Right there, that's the culprit. That's where I was hearing it come from. All right, we'll get this whole pipe moved. If anything, we'll have to move this mid pipe, and then we'll get it reclamped. I might even just take that off, clamp it, and pull it all back in. We'll see. I always just have fantastic hair whenever I work on the car. It's not even that long. That's what she said. Alright, so we got the car jacked up now, and we got this side being supported by, well, the axle is supported by the stand here, and that is going to be important so that we can take some weight off that leaf spring perch to then put this guy in. This is a 1-inch lowering block, and I'm hoping that gives me just enough to where it sits perfectly flush with the tire, or I should say the fender sits perfectly flush with the tire, but I don't want to rub. I know whenever I'm hitting some bumps, if it goes a little too low, I'm hearing it rub, so hopefully that doesn't, you know, accentuate this, but we'll see. If anything, I'll just have to roll the fender a little bit. Not a big deal, but let's get to it. So we got to separate these guys, and in order to do that, you've got 4 bolts down in here. Can't really see them, but I'm going to shoot them with some WD-40. Hopefully that's going to help take them off. Now, this kit does come with new U-bolts. I'm not sure if they're the correct size, but if they are, I'll use them. If not, I ain't gonna worry about it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, so far we only got one loose one. Alright, we're just gonna have to keep working at this. Alright, that took probably a better part of 45 minutes, but I finally got that perch off. I had to unscrew the 4 nuts on the U-bolts right there. But my problem right now is I need this lowering block to go above the leaf spring, and it didn't separate. It didn't separate from the axle. So now I have to take me mallet and hopefully beat it, loosen it up. This is, I feel like this is a ticking time bomb. You know, I hit it and it's just gonna explode, but I guess we'll find out. Boy, that thing is just not separating. I don't even know how to do this. I mean, I can keep raising up the axle, but I feel like it's just gonna separate. I guess this is still, I don't know, I'll try and raise it. My luck, I'm gonna hit myself. There it goes. Perfect, look at that. Okay, that's what I was needing. Hopefully you saw that and my hat wasn't in the way. Here, I'll just take my hat off. I don't know. Can you see my hand? There we go. Okay. I don't know if you saw that or not, but yep, separated. We're good to go. I'm going to lower the axle back down, that way I can get everything set in place. So it has been a couple of days since I last worked on the car. Let me show you what I found out. So as you can see, well, maybe, there we go. As you can see, I've got the blocks in there, and it was a pain. I could not get the U-bolts that were originally on the car off. It took forever for me to crank those off, and I couldn't use my impact, nothing. I straight up brute force breaker bar the entire way. But I got those off, and I ran out of cutting discs, so I couldn't put the new U-bolts on. So got the cutting discs, and I had to, I'll put up a little picture right here. I had those pins on top of the lowering blocks that were a little bit too big for the perch on the axle. So what I had to do is sand the entire thing down just enough to where I could squeeze that all in there. So after that, I've got it in there. It is tight. It's not going anywhere. It's sitting just enough lower that it looks perfect. Now, all I got to do left is lower the front. I am hoping, since it's only 2 bolts, that it's not going to be that bad, but this turned out to be a project. I'm assuming the fronts are going to turn out to be a project too, so let's figure that out. So as you can see, got the car jacked up, and we're going to be looking at that bolt right there. Now what this does is takes all of the pressure from the torsion bar and sets the right height for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower it, well, loosen it to lower the car, and we're going to do it evenly on both sides. Now I already got the car to where it's 25.5 inches ride height on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it evenly, hopefully get it down to 24.5. So let's try that. That sits perfectly. It's going to be a little bit harder to tell back here, but it tucks up perfectly underneath that fender. Now I did take it for a drive, but only on like some bigger bumps do you actually hear the tire rub back there. So we're sitting at basically perfect for that. So the only thing left to do now is to get it all cleaned up and ready. So let's get started. So there you have it, guys. The car is all ready to go to Ice Cream Cruise. Got this thing lowered. It is looking fantastic now, and I got it all cleaned up. So I can't wait to see you guys there. Drop by, say hi. I got some decals for you, so make sure to get you one of those. And if you like the video, let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one.